soon as the new set comes out, all these decks are getting out of here. None of these decks will be the same again. Daria's out of here. Bahamut's out of here. All of these Necro Assassin, Lurching Corpses, all this bull crap. Okay, bull crap. It's getting out of here.
There's a lot of cards rotating out.
A lot
of cards that we think are core to whatever it is, archetypes or styles we play.
That's right. I mean, even Lyrial too. Like all of this early game option that most of the decks have these days, all going away. All right, so loading into the games, DV8 has chosen to bring his Shadowcraft deck first, whereas Trickster was like, nah, no mirror for me. I'm bringing my Daria deck.
There it is. Daria vs. Shadow. And I think this is big, right? Much like we saw kind of people who get away with winning their game on Shadow. Man, they surge forward.
Yeah, getting a win on Shadow is pretty much, in my mind, the big clincher, right? Especially with the matchups, I feel like Daria has a really good chance against Shadowcraft, but we have seen Shadow beat Daria today. So it's not like it's an impossible task.
Yeah, there's no Daria in hand.
There's not really any plays either, which is kind of rough. Trickster not getting the best of draws here.
Going first as well means that there's less opportunity for you to evolve into more powerful boards.
Interesting choice to lead with the Belenus instead of the Zombie Party on the Magic Owl there, allowing for 2 damage to hit face. Trickster actually going to think about this one. Do I allow the Belenus to stay? Do I trade with it? If he does in fact trade with the Belenus, then DV8 is a much smarter man than I. That's a sweet bait.
DV8 understands.
Yeah, he understands the mind. Okay. I didn't think the Magic Owl would trade into the Belenus, but you know, sometimes in matchups like these, you get a little scared. You don't want to take any chances. Play a little safe when you don't have the options you have.
Sometimes you don't think it be like it is, but it do.
All right, Rainy. All right, Rainy Science Man. Calm it down now. All right, so we've got Insight into Concentration to draw a bunch of cards and set up for a nice tempo turn coming soon. Yeah, and without Daria, that's about as good as it's going to get right now. He's just going to be able to flood the board with what he's got.
Drawn. That's a lot of cards drawn. 2 concentrations and Insight in 4 turns.
Yeah.
And 3 mulligans.
A lot of cards to see the big bulk. And you know what's crazy is a lot of these decks are kind of going away from playing Clark. They're playing a lot more spells. And like hands like this, it's just making me think like, where to Clark at? Like, Clark is so good in situations like this.
Yeah. Gives you a lot of value off of, what, the 2 Oglers, the Chimera, and the Blade Mage?
1, 2, 3, 4. We're talking about 8 play points of value that you get out of 3. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. That's like playing 5 Dragon Oracles in 1 turn. I don't know if you guys know what that feels like, but it's crazy good.
It feels like life. Okay, evolved Andrialphus.
Yep, perfect turn to do it.
And a second Andrialphus.
Plenty of card draw now.
He does block his board. Actually, the amulet's going to disappear, so not quite. Nice, this Magic Owl does the duty.
This is the Clark. That was the draw that Trickster needed.
And he's got the Piercing Rune if he wants.
Yeah, I imagine a good amount of things are going to be happening this turn. He can play out most of this hand, I believe.
I would assume kind of pulling into maybe a Goblin if he has one, and then a Catacomb is the ideal situation here. He's going to draw some cards, so he might hit it.
Catacomb would be pretty good. Dark Blade Fiend would be amazing.
Yeah, what is that card?
Yeah, Prince Catacomb's honestly the best thing off the top. More removal, always good as well, like Lurching Corpse combos, Necro Assassin.
Oh, we got the Goblin.
Honestly, that's like the best thing you can do is repeated Lurching Corpse Necro Assassin combos to clear off massive boards.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Here it comes. The Daria-less Daria draw.
Oh my gosh.
Filling the board up even without the Daria. It's going to be a tough turn to get around. Now, this is kind of where on one of those games where it's like Aisha is pretty decent here. It can clear off 2 followers by herself with an evolution, and then these 2 skellies can get into the Magic Owl.
Yep. Aisha to the Magic Owl, so that leaves 5 damage on board.
Yep, and only 3 cards left for Trickster, but he does have wards. He does have a sword to kind of push more damage as well. See how he chooses to use those cards.
5. Go up to 7 with an Evolve. Maybe a 9 if he chooses to play the Enchanted Sword. And he doesn't have a hand refill, which is...
And he can't really afford to lose this board. This is like his board. If he loses it, it's over.
He needs to spread stats on this Evolve.
Yep. Needs to evolve Blade Mage. This is looking pretty good, though. Again, we're at 9 cards in hand for Shadow, but can it do anything?
Now, Odal is not going to swing very high into this, so he probably can't go to that option, actually.
Ooh. And no Lurchin Corpse Necro Assassin combo to help here.
Yeah, it has a Necro Assassin. The Soul Squasher will take down 1. Necro Assassin can take down another, and then Evolve, maybe, depending on what.
He's got to get lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to get lucky, but he can take down the whole board this turn. That's about the best way to do it.
Oh my, the game could just end.
Yeah. The game either, just ends, or we get to see at least another turn. He's got to go for it. That's his only play.
Oh no. Oh no, no, no.
Is there any other way with the zombie party? I don't think so. Well, I guess he could technically play the zombie party and evolve into the 5/6 and not just immediately lose, but then he's just dealing with a 4/4. That's going to hit his face anyway.
Okay.
Oh, no! Lost the die roll.
Oh, no.
I feel like he had to go for it. Otherwise, he'd just be at 1, and then it's just like any top deck beats you. Yeah, Piercing Rune would have done it. So
yeah.
He went for the right play.
Wow.
Did not win the die roll.
No Daria, no sweat.
Uh-oh, I think we're getting a message from Trickster here. Either that or he's writing down some notes.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, that's... What a way to lose.
Yeah.
When you have 5+ followers and things that are being spell boosted. I mean, just like you talked about with Clark. That is some efficiency that you're getting.
That was the top deck that Trickster needed to win that game. If he wasn't going to have the Daria, he needed a way to spell boost all the followers in his hand so he could have a big tempo turn. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, tempo is the way that we'll call it. We'll call it tempo.
What else would you call it?
It was more like the world's largest drum beat. Just a full board of stuff. So many tentacle monsters.
Yeah. Oglers are pretty scary.
Mm-hmm.
They're like octopi, but with one big eyeball. They're crazy weird. It's like this. That's even weirder.
Oh, what the heck?
That's an ogler without an eyeball.
I never took a close look at what Revelation's
It's
art
a
was.
mouth with a lot of tongues, apparently.
That's disturbing.
And teeth.
Ugh.
Ugh. Yeah, that's scary.
Okay, Trickster takes the first game.
And now I feel like this is a decent matchup for Forestcraft. Forestcraft has a few ways of dealing with Daria's full boards. It really just depends on if DV8 can get off fast enough here. Does have the Daria in the opening hand.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wants to get rid of both of these unless he's on the draw. Looks like he is on the draw or going second.
Oh, no! Okay, still might happen. As we know, you don't even need a single Daria to win matches.
It's true. Okay, that was pretty good. Got the Mysterian knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Never missile.
Yep, never missile, 90%. We're talking about this. Circle, we're writing it down. Trickster has a pretty awful curve. Can finally get there. I mean, luckily he's going first, so he can employ his threats a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
But still a really slow draw from Trickster here.
Yeah. We'll see if that turns around to hurt him. Man, that's super good. If Trickster goes... Well, he should know that circle is there, right?
He knows.
Yeah.
So, if he doesn't want to deal with the double ward, he will finish out one of these followers now. Sylvan Justice, a great draw. So his curve was pretty bad, turned into a little bit better. And Sylvan Justice made it nice. That way he didn't have to waste his Lyrial as an early turn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's more spells. Things are going fairly well. He's going to get into the Magic Owl turn, which is going to be fantastic. As long as he doesn't draw anything else clunky, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. Just doesn't want to see his Oglers, doesn't want to see his Blade Mages.
Yeah, come see me later.
That's right. Give me a turn. Okay.
Okay.
That's a card you're fine with getting rid of.
Yep.
It's got those animated Magic Owls, too.
Yep.
By the way, Runecraft cards look great animated.
Oh, man.
All the cards are awesome.
It's channeling a ball of energy.
Yeah.
It throws fireballs out of its beak.
I don't know if those are fireballs. That's like a
wind ball?
I don't know what that is, honestly. I don't even know if he's throwing it at anybody or if it's just like the source of his power.
Oh.
Could be like his little, you know, his crystal ball that's just emanating magical powers.
When he shakes it, will I boost Daria today? Unlikely.
No. That's wrong.
Very likely.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, Venus gets set down.
You're done for.
Venus has a lot of stats.
Venus does have a lot of stats. She also offers card draw, not this turn, but soon. Possibly. Also, basically just another card that keeps cards in your hand, which makes cards like Cassiopeia better.
Yep. We're getting very close to the Daria turns. Wow, drew all three of the Magic Owls.
Okay. Playing Magic Owl and using it?
It's totally worth just wind blasting the 6-3, I feel like.
I don't know if I like the Evo before the Daria here. Maybe he just wanted to get full use out of every card. Again, not the worst options. Just creating a big board.
Okay.
Oh, that was insane.
Okay.
That was absolutely insane.
Wow, and he still has a 1 play point. Hey, anything you can do, I can do better.
Right? You beat me with your Daria deck, I'll beat you with my Daria deck.
How much does Cassiopeia do? 4? 5?
Not quite enough. Not by any stretch of
5.
the imagination.
Lily comes in, helps mitigate one of the followers, and evolves to take down the second one, but this is still 8 damage beating down your door.
Yeah, about to be 10. That Evo's definitely going face this turn. Chimera's going to come down as well. Into the Looking Glass, probably just to draw another card. Or that. That works.
Oh, the Chain Lightning.
Yeah. Yeah. Chimera down. Evo face. Probably on the 1-1 or the Blade Mage. Either one. This is a rough board.
Cassiopeia is still going to do 5 damage. And there's no Evolution Orbs left.
Yeah. This
is rough.
This is done. This is Dunzo Town.
You're an intruder.
Abram provides a ward and some healing, but
Chain Lightning plus Wind Blast alone will be able to deal with this if he doesn't want to use any of his followers.
I'm pretty sure the Wind Blast is at 7.
Yeah, well, if it's at 7, then yeah, easy peasy.
Maybe
and then
6.
Chain Lightning goes face.
Because Daria boosts 5 times, right? Oh, he played 1 spell, so
I don't know if the Wind Blast was in the
part of the Daria.
hand. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it matters.
Well, the fact that he threw the follower in.
Yeah. I mean, either way, he's got the damage this turn. So.
Oh, come on!
Ooh, the Chain Lightning to end it. Okay. Now that we've got that out of the way.
Yeah, Darias are gone. No more Darias.
Okay. We've got that out of the way.
Now we get to see if we get to. I'm imagining a Shadowcraft mirror right now. This is gonna happen. Both players are gonna be like,
I think it's gonna be Forestcraft versus Dragoncraft.
No Shadow? I don't think so. I think somebody's bringing Shadow right now. Somebody's doing it.
Wow, that guy is not happy.
That's a lady.
No, I was talking to the person on the bottom left.
Oh, the guy who's
screaming.
burning? Yeah. I mean, that's not going to be a good day for anybody. If you got touched by Demon Flame... Oh, okay. All right, you were right.
Wow.
You were right.
I get the free dinner now.
All right, well, this is the matchup that Trickster was worried about, he said. He said the Dragoncraft matchup is the big one. If he loses to Dragoncraft, he doesn't like his chances. And if he beats it, then he likes his chances. So,
Mulligan 2 and got the Sybil.
Yeah, all right, so has some card draw, is on the play with that Sybil, so can ramp with it into a Sogquill or a Conflag, so pretty good start.
I don't know if Forest puts up something that's relevant or strong enough. in the mid-game turns.
Well, I mean, it does have a few ward options, right? It's got the errands, it's got the jungle wards, it's got things like that. The Wood of Brambles, of course, don't play a big role in this other than just keeping cards in hand and maybe some board presence.
Yeah. But the real question to me is threatening any kind of early aggression. You're probably not going to have a very good time of it.
Yeah, this is not a match that you win with early aggression. This is a match you win with by circumventing how Dragoncraft can beat you if you're Forestcraft, essentially. Putting wards on the appropriate turns, staying at the appropriate life totals, and winning with your combo.
All right. Well, 2 Dread Seas, a Bahamut Conflagration, a Sahak Wheel. This hand is looking very much like what we've seen in the European playoffs.
Yeah, this is a deck he can afford to do it against, though. He's not like really under pressure to play anything super fast, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so Trickster is going to maintain that early board pressure here with the Wood of Brambles. Only option, really.
Okay, puts the Brambles down, and that's going to help the Fairies trade up. Oh, I guess he's just going to take the trade now.
Basically just trying to churn out as much advantage out of this Wood of Brambles as he can. Basically preying on the fact that if DV8 does not have a good flow of actions early in the game, that he can just run away with some aggressive damage here.
Toss the ramp. Now, I would assume that you would drop the Sybil here to contest the board, and it's not like you're going to draw off your Oracle either.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can put together a turn. If you can Oracle and Ayla, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, Oracle Ayala is a really good turn this turn. You're wasting the only heal you have access to if you do use the Sybil, so it could be scary.
Oh, he does the Sybil. That's actually interesting to me. The big thing about it is with the Brambles online, it really helps make the trade against the Sybil a lot easier.
Yeah, doesn't have to give that many resources to trade into this. And he has the Fall from Grace now. Trickster finding his options.
He's elated about that, I feel. That's going to be super helpful. And that can get quite dangerous, right? Once you have the Fall from Grace, that might buy you enough time. I mean, it doesn't pair very well, I suppose, with things like White Wolf.
No, you can't really play it on the same turn as something, but like if your dragon opponent stops to play a Tilting at Windmills, you can stop to play a Fall from Grace. It's perfectly appropriate.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Teching against the Dragoncraft deck is going to be, you know, how successful Trickster was able to do that. It's going to be very important. And again, Dragoncraft, as far as I know, at least in DV8's list, there's not going to be a lot of Transform or Banish. So once that White Wolf comes down, it's either just peeking for 4 turn after turn, or you're handing over the 0-cost Elephant.
Right. Which is going to be rough.
Fair, he has 1 Elephant in hand. I don't know if Trickster's running 2 or 3, probably 2.
Yeah, probably 2. General split is either 2 or 3 White Wolves with 2 King Elephants. I don't see a White Wolf yet.
It is a little bit dangerous. There is a world where Trickster gets kind of put into a really bad spot.
So similar situation we saw before, where this overdraw is going to have to happen for DV8. He might use his Evolution Orb here to ramp up to 10. Looks like he's going to forgo that.
Interesting.
I would have considered it. Being able to play Bahamut's as early as next turn, really hard to deal with. It's not like Forestcraft deals with big, huge followers very easily.
You know he has Lilies.
Yeah, that's about it. And I think he's only running 2. All right, Trickster going into the tank on this one. What does he want to do?
Interesting. So typically I would say getting the early face damage is really important. But by the same token, Dragoncraft has a lot of healing, so that adds a little bit of damage here and there that you need to do on top of that, which might not be worth it for the resources it'll take you to earn that damage. You know what I mean? You may as well save those resources to get a clean 20 health swing.
So basically just keeping not a full hand and allowing for some damage to hit the table, but does not want to get the entire board swept away, so keeping one fairy just for hand size.
Did we see what was milled?
We did. I did not see it immediately, though. It showed us. I just wasn't looking at it.
Yeah, I looked down right at that moment. May have been something important.
Yep. DV8's got head in hand right now, probably just deep in thought. TRICKSTER, very similar MO here. Got his hand on his head.
Yeah, they're thinking.
Does that help you think better? Do you put your hand on your head when you start getting into deep thought?
I do when I drive.
When you drive? So you don't use both hands on the wheel? Oh.
Fighting is so cruel.
And you probably need to be thinking more. So it does the opposite for you.
Well, thinking is already a very difficult thing for me.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, so DV8's getting into his endgame. TRICKSTER now with the White Wolf.
Wow.
Now he's got to make a decision. Does he just want to pass this turn to give White Wolf a guaranteed hit?
I think you do it.
You just got to think. So, like, what is the play if there is a Queen of the Dread Sea with the tilting with
That's
something
true.
next
Yep,
turn?
that's
So
true.
let's count that damage. So we're at 4. The highest damage thing is an Israfil, which would be 12, so a total of 16 damage. Can deal 20, so I think he's a little safe here.
Decides to use Cassiopeia on it.
Let's play.
That's interesting. It is actually... If TRICKSTER had immediately dropped down that Cassiopeia... Okay, well...
Immediate Bahamut. Not even a thought, just Bahamut time.
Even if you evolve the wolf, it can't get rid of it, so this could be a lethal on the turnaround. Of course, we know that DV8 doesn't actually have it.
Right. This board, however, is something that can be done with Queen of the Dread Sea. However, there is no Israfil in hand. There is no tilting in hand.
Give him the snowman.
Yep, snowman it is. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter when this White Wolf happens. It just has to happen at some point. And Jungle Wardens alongside King Elephants are very good against every deck, Dragon included. They still do a bunch of storm damage. They get around most things. Yeah, I think TRICKSTER's in a pretty good spot this game, unless DV8 can top deck a couple cards in a row that will end him to the game pretty quickly here.
Yeah. I almost think mostly whatever happens next turn, TRICKSTER is going to be able to play the wolf. I mean, your most powerful turn is something... You don't really want to spend anything, right? You just kind of want to go wide on the board. There's not really anything super relevant to do.
I think you've got an Oracle, see what you draw. And then if you don't draw anything relevant, play your Pyramid Singer, see what you draw. You got to get something going here. Like, the thing you want is tilting at windmills, but TRICKSTER already has the answer for your first one.
Yeah. That's not good.
It's not good at all. I mean, maybe he's considering some kind of a Queen of the Dread Sea play because, honestly, his hand is bad. It actually just doesn't do anything. But if he does that and it doesn't really push him that far ahead, I mean, TRICKSTER can just play out whatever he wants to at that point because he knows there's nothing left for DV8. So I just don't think there's anything in hand you can even really... Like, the hand's so bad that you can't even Queen of the Dread Sea for that much value this turn.
Probably means you should go for the card draw.
Yeah, all I can see is more card draw. Let's see more cards. Yikes. Where the good cards at, though?
Still no match for Mr.
Okay.
Dragon.
I think this is the opportunity to just Dread Sea. Or, I mean, Wolf.
Yep. I think this is White Wolf turn, and then you
Aiming
set
for
up...
the elephant. Oh! Okay.
Yeah, set up a nice little Jungle Ward next turn.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
I think getting the wolf down is definitely the single most important thing in this matchup.
Yep.
Because now it's not really kind of a justification. You've gotten past that point, right? Now you're just as powerful as tilting.
It's essentially the same thing, yeah. This is the tilting at windmills for Forestcraft here. This opens up your endgame.
Yeah, definitely does not want to swing into that. If it's just a pure Hardened Singer that remains, then it won't be able to actually take itself down. But what are you really doing to push the game forward, right? On the next turn, you can just play the Jungle Warden, and the wolf is still sitting there.
Yeah, and then it's just infinite damage sitting in play every turn. And as soon as you pop the White Wolf, you know you're dead. This is just a really, really tough situation to get out of.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I really don't think he can do anything here. I mean, he can Fervor to draw more cards, but he's still in the same position as he was before. Just nothing to really do. Queen of the Dread Sea still not a great option. Okay, just going to go for it. Just feels like, I mean, he feels the same way I do about his hand. It's just, it's not any of it's good enough. So hopefully he can draw into something with the Saha Quill. Nope. Can't even do that.
Nope. Well, definitely can't do anything that would just destroy the wolf. So I think going face here.
Yep. Yep, that's it.
That's going to delay for one more turn, but the Jungle Warden is going to do protection as well. I mean, what else can you do to protect yourself here?
I don't even think you need to, right?
You throw into the Sahak Wheel that destroys the wolf. You can...
I mean, if he plays super defensively with his Jungle Warden and just takes out the 2 threats that aren't Queen of the Dread Sea, that could open up a nice Breath of the Salamander turn or whatever, but I mean...
Yeah.
I don't think Trickster has to play safe at all at this point. I think he can just attack face with both of the Jungle Wardens, attack face with the Wolf, maybe even evolve something and go more face damage. I don't think it's a big deal.
7 damage, 9 damage, 13.
I mean, he's got an Elf Queen to like reset his defense total if he really needs to. I mean,
yeah.
Such pain.
Gets the wolf effect established.
So basically has elephant into elephant next turn, regardless of whatever else happens. He can play semi-safe by going 4 damage to face, guaranteeing lethal setup next turn and clearing off the Pure-Hearted Singer.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. All face.
Yep. This is gonna set up guaranteed lethal here. So the game needs to end, and I don't know if that's possible.
No, definitely not possible.
Yep. Nope. One more win under Trickster's belt, and he's coming from the loser's end, so he has to reset and do this again.
Yes, he does, and he said, like we talked about before the match started, this was his big question mark, this matchup, and he did manage to bypass it.
Still one more game in the series, but
yeah,
this is
it's not over yet
for Trickster.
Definitely not what Crumsian stated it would be. It's definitely not easy. No reset. I mean, there might not be a reset, but it's definitely not going to be an easy match regardless.
Yep. There's one. And another. Oh, man.
Bonk, bonk. Too many abs to deal with.
Yep. 8 abs. Each. There it is. Dragoncraft goes down to White Wolf Forest, and partially due to circumstance of kind of the options that were available, right?
Yeah. Just not getting the better options off of his draws. I mean, we haven't really seen Isterfil paired with Sawquill at all today. It just hasn't been working out very well for the players. So not a lot of good mid-game options. They haven't been drawing their tilting at windmills. Even in this case, with the tilting at windmills drawn, wouldn't be good enough. Needed to have multiple.
Yeah. It's interesting thinking about what Crumgen said about Tilting Dragon. Is that it is kind of a kind of up and down deck.
I mean, yeah, it's not as consistent as some of the other decks for sure. I still think that it is consistently pretty decent.
There are ways you can construct it to be maybe slightly less impactful, but a little more consistent. But
I mean, just like I think, you know, we've heard people talk about Shadow with all the decisions that can be made. I feel like Dragon's the same thing. Dragon has all these little micro decisions you make all the way up your curve, and like what threats you choose to employ against what things on the board that make the matches easier or better. Yeah, and it can be tough. I mean, what might look like a game where you're just like, man, I had no chance. It's like maybe a few decisions differently in the beginning of the game would have turned it into a different story.
Okay, so now we're in the Shadow Mirror.
Knows he has to win the mirror regardless, because he knows that if he wins this mirror, he's got a pretty good shot with his Dragoncraft deck to win against Shadowcraft. So basically, this just allows him to play less games overall, because if he loses this, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're going to have to reset that Daria craze.
Yeah. More Daria v. Daria. I think that matchup is even worse than the Shadowcraft Mirror. I think that is such a wild card game that it's just, I mean, everything's up in the air. It's just literally whoever just crushes a little bit faster.
We've seen it go both ways for sure. Okay.
Really good curve from DV8 here. Having an Andriolphus plus the Skull Ring is just so nice.
Yeah.
Guaranteed so much card draw in the early game. You have the full board. Both players kind of have that option as well.
Yeah. That reanimate on the Skull Ring is great.
Yeah, it's really good. No Andriolphus for the side of Trickster, but still keeping pace with the board. No Prince Catacomb for either player yet either, but DV8 has to worry about it, so I think a lot of board trading will happen this turn.
Yeah. I think that's fine. You have the removal spells to do it.
I honestly think that the Skull Ring is a pretty good option too. You just clear the board, play another Skull Ring.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I think you're fine with that. The more you can extend your board, the more likely it is once you get to those 6-7 play points that your Catacomb becomes very, very effective.
Plus you keep more followers in your hand for the Andriolphus Evo, so I like this.
That's right. 2 Ectors in hand for Trickster. Only 1 for DV8.
Yeah, but I think DV8's going to start popping off into this mid-game a little bit easier. The cards in hand for Trickster don't really afford him too many good plays right now. I mean, he could use a Zombie Party right now, but it doesn't feel good. Necro Assassin is awful right now. Soul Squash doesn't do anything. If he had a Ceres, though...
Wouldn't that be nice?
We're going to keep rubbing that stuff in, guys. We're going to keep rubbing it in.
There's certain things that we just keep talking about. That's one of them. Okay.
Alright, so still going with the board clear plan. Soul Squasher Evo is probably going to happen then.
Man, that doesn't feel great.
He's going to Zombie Party too. Wow, he is. Full board clear. And without any redraw options, no Andriolphus, he's going to start running really far behind in that card draw aspect, especially because, technically speaking, this could be Andriolphus into Andriolphus and like just tons and tons of card draw. He doesn't need to evolve the second one, but just more card draw overall.
Got a Goblin off the top.
Honestly speaking, I think Trickster feels the same way about this matchup. He knows if he loses this, he's going to have to play against Dragoncraft with his Shadowcraft deck. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough.
Demon Eater for more card draw. Just getting a bunch of low-cost followers.
They're so fresh.
All right, here's another one of these turns where I think Aisha's probably just the best play. Kind of stinks, though, because that Belenus is not the easiest thing to play around.
Yeah, the Belenus can really change things.
Want to play?
Interesting.
Say bye-bye to your life.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
a way
good.
to do it.
Yep, guarantees that neither card is taken down by Belenus' effect.
Very good play. But yeah, the overwhelming card advantage that DV8 has is pretty nice here.
Not too much to spend it on right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Skeleton Prince. He does have Lurching Corpse Necro Assassin combo to clear out this entire board. He's got Belenus plus Zombie Party plus, you know, he's got a whole bunch of different options to clear this board while staying ahead here. Yeah, Andriolphus is just so good. It makes things like this just crazy, right? Like, not only do you get this cool combo, but then you also draw a card, and then if they kill your Necro Assassin, you draw a card. You know what I mean? It just the chain never stops, which is cool.
Everything is refilling options, getting you closer and closer to the ideal solution for each situation.
Decided to play the Lurching Corpse that would not draw him a card this turn because he has lots of card draw in play already. Doesn't want to overdraw if he can help it.
Yep. Soul Splash down. There's not really much for it to do.
You're breathing too loud.
Hopes to win this 50-50. Will do it. I feel like if he did not win the 50-50, he'd probably have to Evo, but now he doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, gonna do it anyway. Alright, and then this will probably a Skeleton Prince out of the side of DV8 to try to get the board back.
Yeah, there just isn't many options for Trickster. He just doesn't really have things to play. He doesn't have toys. DV8 has all the toys.
He's got all, well, he's got all the, yeah, he's got the museum, right? All the bones and zombies and mummies.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Trickster is just sitting there with the whole load of nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Demon Eater combo this away, and then he can follow it up with a Belinus, or he can play the Prince Catacomb, but that doesn't really work too well. Yeah.
You'll remove the evolution orb. That means DV8 has a last orb standing.
His mulls haven't really been that impactful either. Androlphus getting mulled. It adds to your shadows too, so not too shabby.
Mm-hmm. Skeleton Prince.
This is a really good top deck. Much needed top deck. Needed something to do here.
Yeah. But still so many options.
Yeah, I just...
Zombie Party is a heart of Shadowcraft matchups.
Gonna be rough. Belinus can clear out most of this alongside of a Zombie Party.
Yeah, I would imagine you Zombie Party to get the thing to pop. Give
Zombie
the
Party
Belinus a
first.
little 2-for-1.
Yep. Yep. And then Demeter will clear off whatever it needs to finish that little train off, and then he's got the Ektar next turn to punish with a full board.
It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can still do it. Doesn't get the zombies though, which I would question a little bit.
So basically doing the same thing, just not getting the value out of the Zombie Party instead of using it on the Prince Catacomb. Nothing wrong with that.
No. 2 skeletons to pop. That's still a good situation.
Decided not to use the Zombie Party here. A little confusing to me. I mean, he still could. Not sure what he needs to save his cards for. He's got an overabundance of them. As a matter of fact, he's been overdrawing several turns in a row because he just has too many cards to draw at the moment.
Okay. The first Ektar goes down.
Yep. And a Trickster has to use this 6 damage to go to face.
Yeah, I don't really see it getting value anywhere else.
But sets up a full board. This will be, you know, difficult if not for an Ektar in hand for DV8, but he does. So essentially he can do the whole 2-for-1 with Belinus. Get a Skelly. Get another Skelly. Now he can play his own Ektar, or
This head can't be taken.
Okay, so we're just going back and forth with Ektars.
yep. DV8 can afford to. I mean, he's got so many resources at his disposal.
Yeah, I don't even know what off the top Trickster can get to turn this around. Drawing
Yeah.
1 card at a time.
He's in a rough spot.
Nope.
Yeah, that's not it. I mean, he can play that alongside of an Ektar, but he doesn't have the 8 shadows, which really stinks. Doesn't have an evolution to make the IE should be able to clear out 2 followers. It's all bad.
Mm-hmm.
This is all bad.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to work for Trickster.
It's all about that Andriolphus Evo, man. It always is.
Mm-hmm.
I state that all the time with Shadowcraft, but it really is. I mean, it's just that simple difference, right? One person got an Andriolphus Evo, the other didn't. One person's been drawing cards steadily the entire time, one hasn't.
Mm-hmm. There are certain things in Shadowverse, like, unless you're playing some really powerful, beefy, neutral craft deck, there isn't a lot of opportunity for you if you're just drawing turn after turn after turn for you to do anything significant, right?
Mhm.
1 card at a time is not going to push the board over, and once your opponent is at such an advantage, you need things that can swing the game and follow up after it. Otherwise, if you're just going toe-to-toe with somebody who has that card draw, they're going to more consistently have the things that swing the tide in their favor.
That's right. He might even have to play the Aisha defensively here, just to suck up some of this damage. Looks like he's going to go with the Ektar instead, though. Hopefully get a 2-for-1 after trading with one of these 2/2s. Nope.
Uh-oh.
I was right. Looking at 9-11 damage on board. Has an Ektar died for DV8?
I think
or is this
there
his
has
first
to be
one?
one of them, right?
Is this his first Ektar?
No, there's only one. Yeah, this is his first Ektar.
Okay. Well, he can jam this Ektar into the opposing Ektar, play Usher to get an Ektar back if he wants to do it that way. That is an out if he wants to do.
Yeah. Or he's going to let his cards just die forever.
I kind of like that. He gets to draw a card too, gets to replay an Ektar. I mean, realistically, you're not gaining damage by doing that too much, so it's not that big of a deal.
Behold the greatness that is I.
Ugh. No, I don't want to. Not super great. Skeleton Prince is not cool. Pushing the face damage agenda. Interesting. Just spends both the zombie parties.
That's a very weird play. If he was going to spend both the zombie parties, not sure why he ran his 2-1 in there.
Yeah. Though I don't know if it'll matter.
I think that's one of those plays where it's like, I was going to do this one thing, but now I'm just going to do this other thing instead.
Yeah, just change in direction midway through.
Yeah. And even if the Ektar dies here, I mean, Usher of Sticks is going to make it so it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yep.
Aisha can't even go in for the hopeful top deck of another Aisha this turn because there's not even 10 shadows to work with. So basically just like right around where he needed to be all game was TRICKSTER, but just not quite there.
Yeah.
Yep, and that'll seal it.
Oh no. The Usher.
Usher Ektar combo.
Yeah, play it. What a great way to end the match, and TRICKSTER ends up taking the loss here in this Shadow Mirror. And there was just an abundance of resources on side of DV8. He still has an evolution orb as well.
He does, and he was on the play. Just had all the tools he needed to. And again, the first Evo went to an Andrew Alpha, so not even a necessary Evo for like board clearing, you know what I mean? Just was ahead the entire time, and now DV8 has brought it back to his advantage.
Coming back. Now it's going to be 2-2. This is the match. DV8 could be the second Disaster member to take a season win.
That's right.
$6,500 for first place in the North American Shadowverse Open. And TRICKSTER is fighting for the reset. If he wins with his own Shadowcraft deck, they're going to play another best of 5.
We'll see. This will be the first time we've seen Shadowcraft beat Dragoncraft in competitive play in a long time, if it does happen.
Mother, father, come
Yeah.
on.
It's very circumstantial if it does. A lot of it comes down to DV8's mulligan strategy here. I think typically he likes to throw the IL and keep the Pure-Hearted Singer.
I keep this entire hand. If I'm on the play, I keep this hand. If I'm on the draw, I keep this hand. If I'm Dragoncraft, yeah. This is a really good hand.
Why do you think that?
Because it's good. You have a play for every single turn in the early game. You have ramp if you draw something else outside of Ayala to play on turn 2. I don't know. I like it. Against Shadowcraft, you have to keep pace with them early, because if you do, you're not so worried about things.
You eventually land into your ramp.
Like, either the game plan is you either draw enough board wipes to play around Prince Catacomb, that being, you know, Breath of the Salamander into some kind of either other Breath of the Salamander or Israfil Saw-Quill combo. And it looks like DV8 agrees. Or you just keep the board clean early so you don't have to worry about Prince Catacomb in the first place.
DV8 is on a draw. Had the removal to respond to TRICKSTER, but didn't need to use it. Still, I think you can just throw out the Blazing Breaths.
In my mind, there are like 3 draws with Dragoncraft. There's 3 different types. There's the ramp draw. There's the draw where you just play things on curve. And then there's the brick draw, the one where you don't do anything. And I think the first two draw types are good depending on the matchup. It really just depends. Like, not every deck do you just want to have the lines up right curve draw because it doesn't make any sense. But some matchups like this you do. You just want things that you can play that are cheap. Because we've noticed that a lot of times when you lose with Dragoncraft is because you literally have no play for like 3 or 4 different turns and it's just no good.
Yeah. That's been the case this tournament day for a lot of Dragoncraft players.
TRICKSTER executing his game plan a little slower than he would like, I would imagine.
Oh man, he's got the Kawi.
Kawi's a really interesting card in this deck. I know people have tried it before, and I think it's okay. And it's definitely okay against Dragon. It does give you war potential against the late game shenanigans. We saw it not be good enough the last time.
Andrew Alpha's no evolve.
A little scary.
Ooh, some ramp coming in the shape of Isla.
But again, that Skull Ring will kind of mitigate the fact that Andrew Alphas doesn't get the Evo this turn. TRICKSTER not happy to see that Ayala.
Gets the ramp. Nice.
I would have considered Evoing into the Demon Eater there, honestly. Oh, never mind. Okay. Now he's hoping for the Andrew Alphas not to come back.
Interesting.
Trying to win that coin flip.
Ooh.
Oh, there was also the Lyriel. Okay. So basically just giving it the biggest pool of cards to choose from. Didn't want the Andrew Alphas to come back.
Which is interesting. You have some good options. You have Catacomb, Kawi, Belnus, Lurching Corpses. You have a lot of things in hand.
It's true, but next turn, we're getting into Sybil territory. He has an Ayala, so he has ways to get all the way up the chain. Now, all DV8's looking for is Israfils and Tilting at Windmills. And possibly some Bahamut's. All of the big stuffs.
I think that DV8 is on a good track. I think taking your advice, slowly leading up to just kind of the natural ramp, rather than trying to race for this insane sprint, has paid off really well for him. But the only question in my mind is when you do get to those 10 play points, again, how do you buy time to drop the Tilting at Windmills?
A lot of times, like I said, in Shadowcraft, you don't even need the Tilting at Windmills. It helps. It finishes the game faster. But, I mean, this is still Ramp Dragon versus Shadowcraft. And for the longest time, Dragoncraft has been favored in this matchup just because it has the Bahamut's and the Israfil specifically. It's just very easy to deal with the boards. And realistically, if you're not dead to an Ektar on a singular turn, you have plenty of time to play at Tilting at Windmills. You just have to be a little bit more confident in your game plan than worried about how you're going to lose.
Man, so much Sybil.
Yeah, this is easy Sybil turn. As a matter of fact, it's really the only play.
Yeah. I think you're fine with that.
And I think you take the value trade into the Lyriel this turn. And then probably Evo the Sybil as well.
There it is.
Now, yeah, this just sets up for such a good play. Now, Belnus can come down, and it'll have a 50-50 shot if he wants to use that to Evo into things.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's pretty good use out of Belnus.
Probably the best use he's going to get on this turn. Doesn't have anything else. Well, I guess he could use the Soul Squasher here. That's fine.
I would probably try to save any kind of evolution resources. Wow.
I was just going to leave it? Interesting.
Wow. Not even drop a Lurch Corpse.
Huh. Interesting choice there. Again, not really a lot of great options for DV8. He's got ways to get himself to 10 play points. Doesn't have any big swing cards, though. Has the Sahquills, has the Queen of the Dreadseas. Basically has all of his setup cards, but none of the payoff cards.
Yeah. This is troublesome.
It is.
He doesn't even have any card draw, really.
He's got plenty of time, though. It's not like he's too worried about this draw. If I was him right now, I'd be comfortable. You've got Sybils. You're going to be staying at 20. All you need to do is make sure the board keeps staying clear.
Should he evolve another Isla? For the most Islas evolved in one game.
No. No, I know you don't. You don't need to evolve anything here. You just play the Sybil. You trade into something and then you pass.
Okay. Gets rid of the Belenus effect while there's nothing that can really affect it. And now the chain of Sibyls arrives. Oh, evolve it. Do it.
No. there's literally no reason to.
You get the 10 before the game gets a 10. Okay, Lurching Corpse down, and right when DV8 hits the 10 play point zone, Trickster starts setting it up, and this is kind of a double threat, right? He's got the Lurching Corpse and the Catacomb installed.
The second Prince Catacomb draw was very important here. It means that singular board wipe isn't going to be good enough.
And double Ector. Back-to-back Ector is really dangerous, especially with as low shadows as he has. That means he's probably not going to proc the zombies, which makes Aisha probably hit a better timing.
True. Without anything, DV8, I mean, he might have been feeling comfortable, and, like, so would I have. It's just, at some point, you need to draw something that does something. All of these cards that just set other cards up to do something are not going to do anything for you. There's nothing to press the game forward. DV8's just kind of stuck in this lock of just not being able to do stuff until he draws something.
His Dragoncraft deck has not been treating him well.
No.
Dance, dear bones
Not
of
this
flight.
game, at least. This is the most important game for it to do well, too, at least so far.
Last Evolution Orb spent, and now it's up to DV8 to figure out. Oh!
Not bad. Not bad. You can play this alongside of a Sybil.
Yes. Okay.
Tilting's not what he's looking for.
Which means he has to stall another turn.
Needs those Israfils, so maybe even the card draw is a better option here. Get the Oracle going, see if you can draw into a Pure-Hearted Singer or something.
Does this just mean that a full board of followers is going to swing in with Ector?
Yeah, I think so, and possibly 2 in a row.
Uh-oh. DV8 might be in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, the double healing from Sybil is going to be pretty good. 6 every turn.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not like DV8's in I'm gonna die right now mode, but he needs a Bahamut. He needs an Israfil. He needs it immediately.
How much do you?
My dance
Okay.
quenches the earth.
Okay.
Not going for the card draw, and this is wasted heal.
Should he evolve?
Not a big fan of this.
Okay. Yeah, the card draw might have been key. This is a very easy one skeleton in.
Yep.
All must come to an end.
So how much is that? You get +8, 4, 4, 8, 12. Is that right? Did I do my math right?
No idea. Yep. Deal with the Sybil as well. If you're
more
feeling
than 12.
cheeky about it.
Way more than 12. It's like 16.
Yeah. There we go. Puts the trades in.
Nice. Maintains the Lurching Corpse, and there's more than 4 shadows on the board.
My goodness.
But not at the turn where Aisha can pop up.
Needs to Oracle into an Israfil right now. This is about it. And then he can Blazing Breath the Lurching Corpse. He can wipe away this board.
3, 2, 1.
There it is.
Hey, DV8 is playing the game.
There we go. So now we're in it. So Blazing Breath for the Lurching Corpse, like I said. Sonic Quill into Israfil, and now the game is live again for DV8, where it looked like it was immediately over.
So sorrowful.
Oh my god.
The game is afoot.
The game is afoot. He's still got 1 Evolution Orb, which means that Israfil can come down for the healing. The next hurdle that DV8 has to get past is the Kawi.
Yes. And honestly, it's not that big of a hurdle. That will take care of a big threat, but it's not going to do anything to help Trickster win the game as far as ending it. However, he does have 12 shadows. He's about to be on Aisha turns. He has Ektar still to position himself if he needs to, but...
Interesting. doesn't have a way to set up a wide board of followers plus the Kawi, which would be the most dangerous.
You know what I think lost DV8 this game? Like, he might still be able to top deck out of this, but I think what lost him the game was that extra Sybil play instead of the Oracle on the turn before. That wasted heal is huge because now he doesn't have a way to get himself above 9. And that's a critical number. I mean, when we're talking about a deck that can deal 10 from hand on turn 10, so...
Yeah. He's just going to have to play the Isterfill with the Evolve. That's about it.
Yep, got to heal himself with the Isterfill. Now, there is an Lurching Corpse to make that a bad play this time around, but there is a Kawi. It really just depends on if Trickster wants to put that into play this turn or not. I feel like if he knows that Isterfill is the best heal option next turn, then Kawi is the best card to play.
Wow, he just dumps his shadows.
Wow.
Is there any way to increase the amount of shadows he has?
This only puts him back up to 8 shadows, too. I feel like this was not a good play at all.
Yeah. Isterfill puts you exactly at 10, and there's not enough shadows to use Aisha. Is that a miscalculation? Even if he did the zombie party with his extra 2 play points, that would only put him at 9 shadows.
Yep, this works too, because this will clear the board, and you know that Aisha is not, I mean, 5 damage is not lethal right now either. This doesn't give you the opportunity to heal over the course of 2 turns, though. This does, however, give you the opportunity to possibly win next turn. So,
because you can swing 6, and the Isterfill will do 10 or 12, depending.
We'll see. I mean, Kawi has to be the option at some point, right?
I think it needs to be now.
Because if he does something like a zombie party on like the Ayala or play a Skeleton Prince, if he basically does anything that's not Kawi, he loses immediately.
Yeah, because he can't... Oh, I guess he can... Well, if the Necro Assassin nabs the Sahak Wheel...
That's true.
But I don't know if you're willing to risk a tournament game on that.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to like Skeleton Prince into Necro Assassin this turn.
I think you just go with the Kawi.
So if you go with the Kawi, it means that there isn't lethal setup. But that also doesn't... Oh, no. Is he going to do the Necro Assassin play?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Is Trickster going to throw this game away?
He can zombie... Nope.
He can't.
Nope.
He has to Necro Assassin.
I can't believe he went down this line.
Oh, no!
I can't believe he went down this line.
He had the game.
Why did you go down this line?
That's lethal.
What?
DV8 sees it.
What?
Trickster sees it now, too. He knows.
Oh, my God.
He knows.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
That's how this game ends?
Wow.
We came all the way to this point to see the game end in this way. Don't forget to evolve.
Trickster. He's going to be hating on himself for that play for a long time.
Oh, my gosh. And DV8 breathes a sigh of
2
relief.
turns in a row. I feel like Trickster made mistakes that cost him this game.
He was so close to making the dream happen of Shadowcraft defeating Tilting Dragon.
He shouldn't have played the Ektar. Should have played that Kawi 2 turns in a row.
Yeah.
And just didn't play it either turn. And then that's it. That's that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Wow. These plays, I mean, they're tough to read, of course. We have perfect information.
There's a lot of pressure.
They don't. But I mean, if you know Isterfill is the last big option they have, because they haven't really been doing anything else, right? Threw away a Sybil, things like that. I feel like you could have navigated that a little bit better.
Yeah. Disastra takes 2 wins today.
2 wins for Disastra today.
Has a champion in Disastra Himari, and now North America has a champion in Disastra DV8. $6,500 times 2 for the team. That's excellent teamwork from the side of
yeah, that's crazy cool. Disastra bringing in some cash shola.
And both of them were 3-2 victories as well.
They were close matchups. Very, very close stuff. Good competition all day today. Really tight matches. It only comes down to like a very few small, minute plays that cost, you know. But again, these are the big mistakes, right? These are the ones that you go back and you say, man, that cost me $3,500 not playing the card, not playing my Kawi that I teched for matchups like this.
We have to be missing something.
Maybe we are. I mean, obviously he was thinking about different things. And we're thinking about what we could see. He's thinking about what he's imagining because he doesn't know what's in the hand of DV8.
Is there any way to have Kawi mess up?
I mean, technically speaking, the 4-4 and the 2-2 eat it, and then he can just do whatever he wants, but at least that will eat up the board, so you're not taking any extra damage. So I don't think there's any way for it to mess up. It's either going to clear the board or stop a big play.
And you had the win on the turn after, right?
And you had the win on the turn after. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk to DV8. DV8, what's up? Congratulations, my friend. You made it there on the last game. It's got to feel amazing, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Like, you saw the cam, my reaction was just like, wow. I somehow managed to win that game.
You're going to watch the replay of that game and just be like, whoa, dude, whoa. Because you were this close. He actually had the win and threw it away against you. But you'll see that when you watch the replay. Okay. But in any case, we'll stop talking about that part of it.
Yeah.
Rainey, ask this man some questions.
The first place winner for Chronogenesis, you are taking a second win for Disaster. Earlier on, Himari was able to do that. For you to come into 2018 and take the first tournament, especially with so much on the line here in the Contenders Cup and the World Grand Prix, kind of what do you feel like is kind of gave you the success that you have kind of stepping up to the plate and doing so well in the Shadowverse Open this time around?
For previous NGE seasons, I'm pretty sure I played a total of like 4 weeks or so just due to like time constraint. So in that case, I didn't really get to play consistently in every week compared to this season, which I was able to play every week. And when consistency is a thing now in SVO, I think I can definitely flourish in that type of format.
That's good, and we expect to see you every season this year around, DV8. We want to see you qualify. Much love to you again. Congratulations. This is a big win for you, and I hope to see you carry it over. For this entire year. I'm so happy for you guys.
Talk to us a little bit more about kind of yourself, Shadowverse, and I like to ask this question to all the new players that are kind of taking big wins and becoming more prominent in the community in the sense of being big tournament competitors. Tell me a little bit about how you got into Shadowverse, about competing in card games. Did you compete in other games before? And where do you come from?
The only other card game I played was Hearthstone, and I didn't really find that fun. From other games, I play like everything: League, Fortnite, PUBG, just all the fun, trendy games, so to say. But instead of in a competitive standpoint, I don't think I've played anything as competitive compared to Shadowverse, like any other game. And I got into the Shadowverse when it was me and a friend, like at school. We were playing Hearthstone, or I was playing Hearthstone. And then I look over at his phone, and he was like, I was like, what is this game? It's like, and he says to me, there's some weeb card game, and that like sold me.
Oh, he was auto in with that one.
Yeah. Yes, one of us.
Wait,
DV8,
weeb card game?
Come join me. Come join me on the desk. We'll kick Exodium out.
Yeah, you guys can be weebs together.
He's not one of us. That's fantastic. So ever since then, you started picking up Shadowverse, getting into it, shared it obviously with your friend Chronogen. DV8, is there anybody else out there, kind of Chronogen and any other friends and any other close people who kind of follow you and help you along your journey?
Of course, the entire Team Disaster is amazing. Great environment to be around. Very, very skilled players from like all the way back to the beginning of the game. A lot of us are veterans. And if I had to shout out one person in particular for me getting this far, it would have to be CK Underwear.
Underwear, number 2.
Another shout out for Underwear.
He's becoming the next Auto Aim.
Yep, that's right. He is the next man behind the scenes. I like it.
Underwear. Everybody needs a pair.
That's true.
I can't emphasize enough. I wouldn't be here without him and his help.
All right, Underwear. These two people, okay, talking about you all day. All right. You guys just made $13,000. You should be asking for some of that cheddar.
Hey, DV8. So, tell us a little bit about kind of your journey through the first season. Are there any very memorable moments, or is there anything that was kind of the most challenging in the Chronogenesis season so far in the Shadowverse Open?
Back in the previous seasons, ironically, I think it was season 2, first week, is Underwear and I faced in losers, and we were, I think, 1-1, or no, he won by triple evoing Albert face.
Oh my god.
And I, you know, being the Shadowverse player, I was really salty about it. And then, all of a sudden, the next couple of days, there's like a PM in Team General, and all of a sudden he was my teammate, and I'm just like, oh man,
oh no,
this is gonna be
That's
a fun
perfect.
ride.
oh no.
That's perfect.
Do you still hold that
yeah.
grudge against him?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not
I
resolved
love
yet.
it. I
Every
love
time,
it.
every
The salt never dies.
All right, I'll be watching out for that rivalry.
Yeah.
Underwear also, I think, could participate a little bit, but unfortunately wasn't able to make it into the actual playoffs. But DV8, $6,500, first place finish. Is there anything that you're going to do? Pay for your trip to Montreal? What else is on the table for DV8? A good sushi dinner? What are you looking forward to?
Definitely, almost 100% sure going to Montreal with Chronogenesis, since we got pretty far in this thing with money. So, yeah,
Nice.
for sure be seeing us there.
Awesome.
Perfect.
So, a lot of Disaster members coming to DreamHack. Especially Montreal is going to be DV8 and Chronogen, and we already know that over in Tours France it's going to be Sheepy and Humanity. And if you guys want to enjoy some of the fantastic blessings that is friendship, definitely make your way
maybe
down.
join in, make some inroads to things.
All right, DV8. So as the top place winner, I'm going to give you some the ability to say whatever you want, some last words to anybody out there, anything that you want to get off your chest. Here's your floor.
Already given all my thank yous, but very, very close sets. Props to TRICKSTER, props to everyone else in top 8 that I faced. Very close games. Like, my heart just, like, can't take that pressure.
Well done, DV8.
Yeah.
You stood up to the pressure,
my friend.
and maybe that slight edge of composure helped you take the win against TRICKSTER. But
that's what it was.
fantastic
Well deserved
games.
this season. Very well deserved.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, DV8, for all the games. That means the North American Shadowverse Open